Hey everybody, what's going on? Andy Evans here with the Columbus Wired post-game recap and a big win tonight for the still undefeated number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, moving to 10-0 on the season and 7-0 in the conference as they put down the Michigan State Spartans by a final score of 38-3. Now, it probably could have been a lot worse had Ohio State not basically taken their foot off the gas in the second half, because after the first 30 minutes of play, it was 35-3 Ohio State. That's right, 1 field goal in the entire second half, and they, of course, kept the now 3-7 Michigan State Spartans, who are 1-8, I believe, in the conference. That doesn't sound right, because that would be 9 games. They're now, 1-6 in the conference. My apologies there, Michigan State fans. But it was pretty ugly tonight. Ohio State, 530 total yards, including 353 through the air, 177 on the ground. And the defense, Buckeyes held the Spartans to a season-low 182 yards, 88 of those coming through the air and 94 on the ground. Kyle McCord, career best night. That's all he did tonight, was have a career best. He was 24 of 31 for 77% of his passes complete, 335 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, did not take a sack. The 24 completions are now a career high. The 77% complete is a career high, and the 335 yards are a career high as well. And the 3 touchdowns technically tie a few other games that he's had this season with 3 touchdown passes. So, McCord just said he got into an early groove, had a clean pocket, and undoubtedly this was probably the best game that they have played all year, at least the best game that he's played all season. And his boy, the money man, Marvelous Marv. Is this dude Heisman material or what? Ryan Day was asked in the post-game press conference, are you purposely trying to get as many yards to Marvin as possible and do some weird things with Marv, have him score in some creative ways because you're trying to get him the Heisman Trophy? And he said, no, you just utilize the best talent you have on the team to help you get the best result. And that's all they're doing with Marv. They're not trying to get him purposely a Heisman Trophy. Well, 7 catches on only 9 targets tonight. But still 7 catches, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 run for 19 yards that also went for a score and is the first ever rushing touchdown of Marvin Harrison's career here at Ohio State. So take that for what it's worth. It was a nice little end around, caught it from the left side, blitzed around to the right, caught a block there near the near right corner of the end zone, and he was in for the first ever rushing touchdown of his Ohio State career. And doesn't end there, because after tonight, Marvin Harrison, it was the 14th 100-yard game of his career, meaning that he now ties David Boston for the most 100-yard receiving games for an OSU player in their entire career. So now only he and David Boston sit with the most 100-yard receiving games ever. And he's got now 1,063 receiving yards this year, which makes him the only Buckeye ever to have 2 1,000-yard receiving games in their career. Did I just say that right? Boy, it's like midnight here, a little bit after. I'm getting kind of tired, folks. I'm trying to get this information to you. There is a lot of it, though, and that's part of it. So the money man, Marv, I'd say his Heisman chances just kind of keep going up just a little bit. I still think he's a dark horse, but man, the night that he had definitely is improving his chances. How about Cade? Farmer Gronk, first game back after being out last weekend against the Scarlet Knights. Tied a career high 7 catches tonight, 79 yards, and also had a touchdown catch, which now gives him 9 career touchdown grabs, and that ties him for 4th all-time at Ohio State for touchdown catches by a tight end. Travion had a nice night. 13 carries, 63 yards, a touchdown, 2 catches for 14 yards. So, I mean, he only had a total 77 yards after coming off of 2 back-to-back 200 total yard performances, including over 100 yards apiece on the ground against both the Badgers and the Scarlet Knights. However, take that for what it's worth, because he didn't even play in the second half. So he put up 77 total yards. Who knows what he could have done had he played an entire game. Ryan Day said that it finally felt to him like tonight, like this was kind of the culmination of what's been going on this season with this team, that they're really starting to kind of find their identity, and this was the culmination. This kind of, you're seeing finally everything come together. Now, maybe was it because they were playing a Michigan State defense that didn't rank any better than 9th in the conference? Yeah, that may have had something to do with it. But nonetheless, Ryan Day said that this was kind of the culmination. Sometimes it just takes some teams longer to kind of start catching on to things, and it's kind of taken this team a little bit longer than some of the other teams that we've seen, especially in the offensive side of the ball. But nonetheless, he said that he really felt like this was a great game, the culmination, and that this team is finally starting to come into form. And speaking of Travion not playing in the second half, we got to see some action out of some youngsters tonight. And, of course, Malik Hartford, the true freshman out of Cincinnati, Lakota West High School, he got the start in place of Josh Proctor, who I said was going to start tonight. If you watch my pregame preview, I was completely wrong. He was actually listed on the unavailable report that came out at 5:30. And I had done my pregame, obviously, before then. And earlier in the week, Ryan Day said he's ready to roll. However, he did not roll tonight, and instead Malik Hartford, the true freshman, in his place, ended up with 4 tackles on the night. Had a really good night. Jermaine Matthews Jr. came in and had some solid time on the field. Now, Denzel Burke started, as well as Davison Igbinosun. But Malik Hartford in place of Josh Proctor. Sonny Styles went back and played the Bandit because Lathan Ransom did not play tonight either. And in fact, Ryan Day said that right now Lathan's injury seems to be more long-term. So may not see Lathan for the rest of the year. May see, at the very worst, we're going to see Proctor, Sonny Styles now take over that Bandit role like he did tonight. And then probably going to see a good majority, really, of playing more of a nickel with Jordan Hancock staying in the slot, which was pretty much what they did all night tonight. Nonetheless, we also saw in Jermaine Matthews, 3 tackles, had a pass breakup, although kind of hurt his hand on that pass breakup, and he left the field. Jair Brown came in and pretty much was in for the rest of the game for him. So, and I'll be honest with you, I did not hear what Ryan Day had to say. I kind of had a couple other things going on, or if he was even asked about it, but hopefully Jermaine's okay. He probably is. But C.J. Hicks got some time on the field tonight. The sophomore linebacker out of Dayton, 2 tackles, had 1 tackle for loss. And then some other true freshmen, aside from Matthews and Hartford, whom we've seen in several games this year. How about the kid from South Dakota, the 3-sport star, Mr. Lincoln Keenholz, comes in the game and completes 2 out of 3 passes for 18 yards, both of which went to fellow true freshman tight end Jelani Thurman. So we got to see some action out of both Keenholz and Thurman tonight, which was really cool to see. And then also true freshman defensive back Calvin Simpson-Hunt. Didn't get any stats, but he was still on the field for some time. So I'm sure there were a few other guys that I missed there in the fourth quarter, but it was really great to see, if you're a Buckeye fan, a lot of these youngsters get on the field and get some reps. And hopefully we can see the same thing against Minnesota. Also, Tommy Eichenberg, week to week. That's what Day had to say about Tommy, is that right now he is week to week. So take that for what it's worth. Cody Simon came in, though, and played great for him. And having said that, it is now 12:15 in the morning, and I am dead tired and ready to go home. I appreciate everybody checking me out. Thanks for taking the time this late at night. And otherwise, have a good morning, and I'll talk to you on down the road.